Right one.
Turn it up, Kale. We are back, baby.
Let's go.
We are so back. We're so back. Oh my God.
Nobody overreacts.
We've never been this back before.
Nobody overreacts.
I cannot wait for it. What is everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go.
Live from the Toyota Lounge, high above the DNVR bar, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. How cool is that? Hop in the Toyota chat. You can join your fellow Nuggets fans. It's where they hang out before the game to talk, make predictions, usually about what we're talking about, but sometimes not.
Talk shit about us.
Sometimes that's the case. But why would you do that on such a beautiful day, man?
I wouldn't.
And the Nuggets are back. Oh, I should say beautiful night, really. Late night game here as the Nuggets are on the West Coast to take on the Clippers. And who better to talk about that game than Brendan Vogt?
Fellas, what up? I missed you. The break was just long enough, as you predicted. You're like, I need the break.
Always is.
Now it's too long. Now I don't know what to do with my hands. We're back.
I honestly think this break was the perfect length because you are right. Yesterday would have been too soon.
100%.
Tomorrow, too late.
Today, I was itching for it.
7 o'clock game, too soon.
Too soon.
We need an 8:30.
8 o'clock game.
I don't know.
Too soon.
7 o'clock game could have been cool.
You're right. We are an hour late. I'll be honest. Over here, Harrison Wind.
Fellas, I remember the last 8:30 game, we all wore pajamas. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
That was the 9 o'clock start game.
That was a 9 o'clock start?
There's actually later games than this.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah. Rounding out the show, celebrating Jokic's birthday. It's Superstar Dev.
Why would you think that I'm celebrating Jokic's birthday?
Yeah, what
I
makes
mean,
you
I'm
say
just
that?
looking over there.
What
I
was
see
the
this
Perfectly
shirt.
normal shirt to
What
wear.
makes you think that?
It's the decor.
I'm just celebrating a guy
Yeah.
of every day.
That's true.
Every day.
Every day is a celebration for our king. Before we get started on the show, we have a great show lined up for you because so much has happened that we haven't actually formally talked about. Spencer
know.
Jones is a Nugget.
A lot of things have happened.
KJ Simpson is a Nugget. I got some updated intel for you guys on that front, as well as some notes about what the Nuggets are likely to do at that 15th spot. You're going to want to stay tuned for that. We're also going to talk about Yoke talked about retirement, but in a good way. In a really good way. We're going to talk about all of that. But before we do, we have a very special event coming up on Monday here at the DNVR bar. If you haven't checked this out, the Soul Power documentary that was produced, executive produced by George Karl, it is phenomenal. And I'm not just saying this because we're holding the event. I planned last night to watch one episode. There's 4 episodes. I wanted to watch all 4, but it was like midnight by the time I got done with the second one. So I cannot wait. I've already got it on my schedule for Saturday night. That's what I'm doing. It's fantastic. And we're going to have live in the bar George Karl himself, Chuck Williams, Grant Simmons. You might not know those names. They are the original Denver Nuggets. Excuse me, Denver Rockets.
Yeah, they're why we're even here in the first place.
And it's going to be such a treat to have these guys here talking not only about the ABA, but also about the Denver Nuggets of yesteryear, what it was like back then, but also, of course, we're going to talk about Nikola Jokic. So you're going to want to RSVP for that event and get down here. We'll have a live Q&A. It's going to be incredible. On to today's notes. The Nuggets are in Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. What do you have for us, Wind?
What do I have for us? I have the Common Spirit Injury Report. Let's go to that. Check out the Common Spirit Injury Report. We'll start things off there. Nuggets pretty healthy.
Oh.
Coming out of the All-Star break, all things considered, I mean, it's been obviously a disaster season on the injury front. Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson still out. Jalen Pickett, probable. I think he is playing tonight, right knee soreness. For the Clippers, Bradley Beal, he's out for the whole season. Darius Garland, who they just got back in that James Harden trade, he is out, though.
It's so weird seeing Bradley Beal and
Forgot
Darius
about him.
Garland out for the
Right.
Clippers. You're like, what?
I didn't even know that he was on their team.
Who's he in
Which
this one?
one?
Yeah, I was going to say it. Which,
Bradley Beal.
Oh,
I
okay,
forgot.
there-
I'm with you, Dev. I completely
Has
forgot
he played?
about
I'm
Bradley
being
Beal.
for real.
It was like early in the year, and then he was out. I mean, it
Played
did
a couple
not.
games.
It had a cup of coffee.
Yeah. Experience a difference. Compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you. Discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos. The Clippers are 26-28 coming out of the All-Star break. Of course, they have the disaster open to the season. Then they won 16 and 19.
Hottest
and then
team in the league.
Traded their whole team.
So true.
Kind of weird if you just look back on how that all happened.
They were red hot. They're like, man, it's finally working. All right, let's blow it up.
Then traded their second and third best players. James Harden and Zubats are both out the door. And they got back a guy in Darius Garland who's not playing.
Oh, yeah.
James Harden is probably the Michael Jordan of forcing trades.
He's so good at it.
He has it down. Nobody's ever done it like him.
He is incredible.
When it's
at it.
time, he's like, I know exactly how to play
And
this.
he goes wherever he wants to
I
go.
know.
It's insane.
He's traded himself his whole career.
Just strong arming everybody.
And this last one, he's like, hey, I didn't ask for this. To Wynn's point, the team just figured it out. As hot as they've been all year, and then he gets traded. I'm thinking maybe there was dialogue.
I think something else might be going on there. Anyways, yeah, the Clippers, we'll see what we get from them tonight. Kawhi Leonard has been on a tear, though. He had the great performance in the All-Star game, of course, but that's kind of just a microcosm of what he's done over the last couple months. He's been arguably one of the best players in the NBA over the last couple months.
He really has been, man. And he's coming off of a huge All-Star game performance on his own home floor, the Aspiration Dome.
David Adelman, pregame in Los Angeles, he made this note I saw. He said that no team has a higher offensive efficiency in losses than the Nuggets, but also the Nuggets have the worst defensive efficiency in losses as well.
Let's do it. Let's
When
go.
the Nuggets lose, they are really bad defensively. I think we all knew that. He also had this to say about Kawhi Leonard. He's one of the best players I've ever seen, David Adelman said, especially two-way shooting this season. The pull-up efficiency is insane, but he's a Kawhi Leonard respecter, as he should be.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is good. You got more notes there? Is that it?
It's also Nikola Jokic's birthday today.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a big deal? I feel like it is. I feel like it's kind of a big deal. It's his birthday.
Yeah,
I think.
seems like a big deal.
I feel like his birthday coming off of that All-Star. Like this was the most open that he's ever been. So just getting older. I think it's just the right time right now. So I think this is a big deal.
You think it means anything for him? I mean, I kind of feel like the spotlight's on him tonight in part because the Nuggets need to get back on track.
It'd be a great time for a sort of rebirth, if you will, here for the second half of the season. Really just a reminder game, though, all jokes aside from Jokic. It's time for, look, he produced in those last few games heading into the All-Star break. He didn't dictate every second of the action in every game the way we're used to. And I just think seeing him come out on the other side of this break, probably on the other side of the minutes restriction, on his birthday and playing a great game could restore so much balance and confidence just in the air around this team. And like Adam and I talked about on the last show, I expect it. Every time you go, it's time for Jokic to step up, he does. So
yeah, I can really use a reminder game tonight. For
Yeah.
sure.
And yet, I still feel like this game is really just about the Nuggets. Like, what is their approach? Part of me thinks that, yes, they limped into the All-Star break, and so it's like, all right, now it's time to hit the ground running. I actually look at it more as these next 4 games. The Nuggets need to win tonight. That part is important. I honestly think this is an important game for getting a win. They have 27 games left in the year. You kind of want to go can you go 20-7? Can you go 19-8? I kind of feel like that's what they need to go. So if you drop one right away, it becomes much more tough. I don't care as much, Dev, if they look perfect tonight, because I actually don't expect that. But I do expect them to look like they care a lot and to find a way to win.
Yeah, they need to get back on the right foot and get back to finding themselves. Because right now we haven't got to see. We're still missing some players, but this core get themselves together, be on the same page, and sustain good play. So right now it is about getting everybody on the same page right now, which they have not done. So it is important as we get closer to that playoff stretch, and also it's about fighting right now. Everyone's around you, so seeding actually matters. Every single win is going to matter, and they have some. Looking at the schedule, they have some games that are going to test you. Are you going to be able to get through that test?
Absolutely, man. So this is a big one. My eyes, though, are on Nikola Jokic. I just want to see him dominate this game because we know that he can. My eyes are also on Spencer Jones, who is officially a Denver Nugget this year. As the news came in yesterday that the Nuggets, this was not, I told people on the show over and over again, people were concerned that we're going to lose him this year. I don't think that was ever in risk. The only question was, could you get him on a multi-year deal? That would be great for Denver. You lock up a minimum contract for years to come who's a playable player. And they weren't able to get that done. You know, Spencer Jones, I think, is eager to test his own free agency. It's going to be restricted free agency, but test his own free agency and just see maybe there is a little bit more money. Can you drive that price up a little bit? I think Denver obviously wanted to get something done, but Denver didn't have, at this stage, they didn't have any maneuverability other than going into the tax. And I don't think the Cronkies looked at this as a scenario that was, we're going to go into the tax and maybe put ourselves behind the 8 ball in future years just to give him an extra $1 million a year. I believe the team is looking at this and saying, let's see what happens. We value him a lot. We look at the market and we'll see. And they still have matching rights into the summer. So if he ends up getting an extra $1 million, $2, $3 million, Denver might have to bite the bullet and pay at that point. But I think Denver's approach to this is, why prepay where you're guaranteed to?
Why would we ever do that? You know, like,
well, because I think Denver still controls his rights. Is my point. It's not like
I was kind of being a little.
If they're looking at this and saying going over the tax is going to hurt us, you know, at least how they view it, it's going to hurt us and limit us in the future, then why don't we not flinch? Let's go to the summer and let's see if he can actually get more money in free agency. And I actually think it's a decent gamble in terms of, I'm not so sure that he is going to get meaningfully more elsewhere. And I think Denver will be able to match him in the offseason.
Yes, and he will be a restricted free agent, most likely, presumably. Of course, the Nuggets would have to offer a qualifying offer. There is one small catch here. It will probably work out in Denver's favor, but worth going over. There is a starters criteria qualifying offer. I believe it's 41 games started on the season, means that your qualifying offer bumps all the way up to $5.9 million, which is probably more than Denver would like to offer Spencer Jones, just as far as the QO goes. So what does that really mean? Well, you'll notice that Spencer Jones is not in the starting lineup tonight. I wouldn't expect to see him in a ton of starting lineups. In fact, I would say no more than 6 from here until the end of the season.
That's probably the number.
So that the Nuggets can tender that cheaper qualifying offer.
What's interesting about this one to me is, so a couple things. First of all, I know it's fair if you want to like freak out and, oh, did they drop the ball because now they didn't lock him up for multi-years? Let's just see how it plays out. It's entirely possible that this is not an issue, a non-story at all, and Denver just gets him back and they have him for this year. He's now good to go, and he'll play for the Nuggets for the rest of the season, into the playoffs, everything else. But that part of it is what's interesting to me, because I think Denver has been very earnest with him. He's started, he's played a lot of minutes. It's like he's been given any opportunity a two-way player could possibly ask for. But the Nuggets, in doing so, like, I don't even know if this was on their radar 20 games ago about like, oh my God, are we ever going to get close to this 41 game limit? But now you're at a point where you could totally foresee a scenario where, well, should we start Spencer or should we start Zeke? And does it make that much of a difference? Probably not. We're going to start Zeke. And if you're Spencer, you're looking at that going, hold on. You know, it's one of those things where Denver reasonably should protect their own interest in this case. And if you're Spencer, do you get a little upset if that happens for one game? Denver wins by 10, doesn't actually make an impact, but it could just be a thing that creates a weird situation for David Adelman to have to navigate.
And that's why I say I think this is a small L for Denver, not getting a multi-year deal done with him. But looking ahead to this summer, I don't think Spencer Jones is going to be the type of guy that teams are splurging over in restricted free agency, especially in this CBA environment. You know, if he gets more than a minimum, like he might, I wouldn't be surprised if he's back on a minimum though.
I agree.
So,
and I think that's probably a big part of Denver's gamble is test the market, but
totally,
you don't dribble. You're a super low usage guy.
Yeah.
You know, you work in our system. You're going to hit corner threes and you're going to defend, but our team's really going to pay for that, especially in restricted free agency where you can tie yourself up. Are you going to tie yourself up for a guy to give him $4 million instead of $3 million?
Totally. And so,
you know,
there is definitely a scenario out here now where the Nuggets can still thread this needle exactly.
Yeah.
Everything goes according to plan, stay under the luxury tax, still have this open roster spot that they can sign a buyout guy.
And I'm predicting that's the world we're living in, by the way. I'm saying I think that's the likeliest outcome.
And then you get him this summer on, you know, around what you were trying to get him on at this trade deadline. I just say it was a little bit of an L because I think you probably could have signed him to something, you know, a couple months ago.
Yeah. Oh, this is the L. I agree.
But Denver had this whole plan of we're going to keep this roster spot open, duck the tax, all this. So this is what kind of the Nuggets envisioned. And, you know, maybe they even thought we might have some negotiation here that we'd have to navigate and it could go into the summer. But I'm with you. I think it will probably work out. I just don't think it's going exactly how the Nuggets wanted it to.
I also think Spencer Jones wants to be here and has enjoyed his time. I think the relationship with him in Denver is very good. I wouldn't be surprised if there were teams offering him, deals like that he'd just look to Denver and say, okay, nobody came to me with a big offer. We're all in the same ballpark. I'd rather be in Denver if all things are the same. So I think that this is all like in a healthy place.
And there is a business, equation that goes in here. But if you're a two-way guy and you get that first opportunity with the Nuggets and they've given you, all the rope you could ask for, that holds some weight too in, negotiations.
And of course, if it doesn't work out this way, we'll talk about it and it will be a huge L. It'll go from a small L to a big one. And so I just think it's, that's the scenario we find ourselves in. And I'll also say, because part of me wonders, like, did David Adelman not see this? Nobody predicted Denver would have as many injuries as they've had, that Spencer Jones would actually start as many games as he's had. Yeah. That's a very abnormal circumstance.
Then on top of that, you just have to think, like, Spencer Jones he's bright. He understood what it was at that time. It was probably too late for both sides that he's like, no, we're going to wait this one out. He, I'm sure, looked at this and said, no, I'm going to wait to the end of the year and take a chance on myself. So he still has, things coming. He also just got a raise. So, while it looks like an L, it worked out for one guy, and it might work out even longer for both sides.
100%, man. Also, the Nuggets signed to a two-way. They replaced the two-way, and they get KJ Simpson.
Scope.
And I actually think this is a big deal. This kind of signals something. Because KJ Simpson is a guy, local guy, played at CU, so he, I think wanted to be here.
Great player at CU.
Had contributed for Charlotte and is like a good player. He's not at all an upside pick. Denver, he is a guy to me that I think serves a very important function. I think KJ Simpson will play minutes for the Denver Nuggets this year in the regular season. And I think that was the entire point of signing him. In fact, I can say this with confidence, that they want what he can provide. On-ball defense, guard defense. Denver doesn't really have, outside of maybe Bruce Brown, they don't really have a guy you can put on and say full court press the ball handler. Get into the ball. Just wear down whoever it is that we're going up against, De'Aaron Fox. And KJ Simpson in the regular season represents that. And on offense, he's not a zero. He can knock down a shot. He actually was an offensive player in college. But in the NBA, he's just not a liability. So it's one of those guys where I think Denver actually checked a box that they're like, yes, this is a thing that we might actually need to go to or even just want to go to at some point in the season.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think in that two-way spot, they were absolutely looking for a guy that can give them minutes right now. They weren't looking for a project necessarily. Yep. KJ Simpson, the guy who's played a lot of minutes for the Hornets, I'm not that high on him, even though I'm a CU guy. I'm not that high on him as like a long-term play for the Nuggets. I think he could be on the team next season, though.
Could.
In maybe a two-way spot. I don't know. Yeah. But what he does give you is energy. Yeah. KJ Simpson plays very hard. That's the first thing anybody says about him. Like you said, he can get up and press the ball handler 94 feet. He's going to go 100 miles an hour every single minute that he's out there. He just plays with energy. He plays with a great spirit. And I feel like that was something important to get. And just a guy that can contribute something in that two-way spot. It is a little weird they have now 3 guards in their
one of them's hurt. One of them's hurt, though.
I know.
And one of them, Curtis Jones, is not like a guy that can help you win games at this point in the season.
Right. He's the project.
Yeah. So I think it is a little bit of mix of the Jones. I think it's a mixture of both. But you have a guy that can play right now, two-way options. He can light it up, and we've also seen him light up the Nuggets. Before.
He had his season high against the Nuggets this season.
So like he has those moments that he can create a spark, and that's what you need out of a two-way guy. You're not using this as a guy that's going to impact the season or change anything around, but you can put him in at various times. I think it's funny to see that they just really love like the undersized guard. Like that's something that they are like stuck on right now.
I think Denver honestly looks at this as we got to win as many games as we can in this last 27. And there is a world where you have a Bruce Brown out or somebody out, and it's like, you know what? Who do we go to? Let's go to this guy. He can play the defensive role. He can play the Bruce Brown role for us. And tonight you're playing 8 minutes, and we just trust you to be a veteran,
this
smart
isn't
player.
A guy who's never played in the NBA before.
Right.
Doesn't really know what's going on. He can handle himself the second he's out there.
So I think that one's kind of interesting. And then KJ Simpson kind of has his pick here of where he wanted to go and, chose Denver. So there's a relationship there between him and John Wallace, I know.
Well, the Nuggets they scouted him a lot in college. And right up the road right up the road in Boulder. They watched a lot of his college games.
And I think more equally as importantly, John Wallace in Minnesota was scouting him as well and had a relationship from that, and they just kind of kept in touch. So he chose Denver. I think he sees an opportunity, and if you get minutes to play, that's a big deal. And then lastly, they still have a 15th roster spot.
Yep.
Here is what my intel tells me about what I would expect them to do. I think the Nuggets will almost certainly treat it the way they treated KJ Simpson. They want to get a player that has value to them this season. I think they look at that as a playable piece. I think they look at the playoffs and say, we just need as many options as possible for a playoff series. And it's likely not going to be a high impact guy. You know, Russell Westbrook is loud, changes your whole dynamic. But I think they want to go for a guy that they say, if we get into a series and we just need a guy that can give us 6 minutes and does something, we'll just do that. And what I think that will be is a forward with defensive versatility, first and foremost, who's not a zero in offense, and almost certainly a veteran player. Not a 3-year vet, not a 2-year vet, a guy that's been in the league for 10,000 minutes. And so some names that fit that bill, Slow-Mo we've talked about, Middleton we've talked about, I think Amir Coffey is another guy. Because if you think about it, there's 27 games left. I think if they sign a guy, it'll be a week or two from now because guys will get bought out still. There's still more buyout guys. And I think it'll be like, okay, you're joining the team. There's 20 games to go. There's no time for you to learn anything. You need a veteran who can come in and doesn't need a month to figure out a system. It's somebody that's played enough basketball to know, okay, I see what we do here. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, if Chris Middleton does become available, does indeed become a buyout candidate, that would be a dream scenario. And sure. Maybe you're kind of hoping that while other teams snatched up the initial wave of buyout guys, you're kind of waiting on Middleton to become available, and there's room to kind of sneak in there as his top choice. So obviously, you could help him try to win another ring. So I think that would be my top option. Of course, it feels a little pipe dreamy. First of all, he's not available yet, but that would be great.
That has to be soon, though, right? Because like the longer that it happens, I think that helps Denver's chances, just because he's going to be able to choose wherever he wants to go. You will choose a contender at that point that's going to have that option. That goes availability there. So I do think that there's a waiting period that I will want to try to get them in the lead there.
My expectation is within a week or two. Maybe it's 3, but I think it'll be within a week or two. And I think what's interesting about this is I'm sure a team can have a big board of like, who would we want? But the truth is, a guy might get bought out. Your third option might get bought out before your first. And there might just be all right, we got to pull the trigger because this guy's acceptable and we don't know what will happen behind that, but this is what we're looking for. Boom, pull the trigger. So I expect Denver to fill that spot. And I think part of the negotiations with Spencer Jones had to do with them having the flexibility to add a guy, because I truly believe Denver is all in on this season. They look around, they say, we have guys, we just want to have, 15 playable guys. And maybe
15 real guys.
15 Pickett, Strother, who knows? But it's just like we have guys that check a bunch of boxes and we can throw a combo together. So that's what I expect to happen for the Nuggets. A veteran guy.
I think so too. I mean, you look at some of the guys that are still out there, like Lonzo Ball. I think it's pretty obvious why he hasn't signed with anybody. His medical just must be awful.
I hear it's really bad, man.
Or else he would have signed with somebody already. It seemed like he was about to sign with the Warriors and then didn't.
By the way, we also told you the intel on Hayward Highsmith obviously going to Phoenix. We told you that one of the intel that I had on him was that he was like a month away, and the report came out today that he's a long way away. And I think for Denver, that was a bit of a factor.
And for Phoenix, it's not as much of a factor because you don't have as high expectations for this season, and you're getting him on board for next season.
100%, exactly. So
we'll see.
That's what I think will happen. Kale, we don't have time for Jokic's timeline. We're going to have to push that to the post-game show, but it's going to be a good topic, so that'll be good. Okay. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet of $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev, I haven't made any money for a week.
Yep, and it's time to make up and get that money back that you spent in Cancun. So it's time to get paid. Bet365, thank you in advance for this one. The Nuggets come into this game as 4.5-point favorites. And I'm going to tell you right now, I love this line. They're going to cover the 4.5. I really am curious to see what type of Clippers team that we get, because they can't be serious with the lineup that they have. They have Brook Lopez playing like real minutes. That is a scary
Is he starting
spot
at
to
center
be.
for them now?
He's their only guy. They have to.
Nobody hates Jokic more than Brook Lopez.
And there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it. Happy birthday, buddy. So I like that 4.5. I also like the over 226.5. I just think this would be a high scoring game. So give me that 226.5. On the other side, Kawhi has to be feeling good after his performance at All-Star Weekend. But that's not who I'm going with. I'm going right back to that Will. Brook Lopez, his line is going to be extremely low in this one. It's
Remember
9.5.
that preseason game he had against the Nuggets?
Yeah,
He shoots
6
it.
threes or
He
something.
shoots it. Now he's going to be forced to play some defense too. But I do think that he'll be able to get this line. It's at 9.5. Let's get the over. On the Nuggets side, our 3-pointers bet, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr. Is a line that I like. If you see it at that 2.5, make sure you go the over. Sticking with Tim Hardaway Jr., 11.5 is his line, and that seems like a play that you just have to put in. He'll have to be the scorer in that second unit, and he could get this in just 3-pointers alone. So 11.5 is way too low. Another line that's too low, Big Val. If we think that Jokic is going to feast, think about when he goes out of the game. He gets to score very quickly. There's nobody that's going to be able to. It's going to be. I don't know what that guy's name is that has the name that goes across the whole.
Niederhauser?
Conan Niederhauser.
Ain't he on this team?
Yeah.
He's going to have to be the one that guards them. I just don't like it. I got Big Val over 7.5 points. It's at plus money, and he wants to be physical. Here's your chance, big dog. Murray assist way too low. There's no way he doesn't get this. It's almost a lock. It's 6.5 for Jamal. He's coming off of his little all-star break. I think he'll be very confident in this one. So I got the over 6.5 assists. Christian Braun at 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists is a very easy bet.
I like that.
Very easy bet.
I know, I like that one
He
too.
looks back. He's doing a little bit of everything. He's taking advantage of it. We're going to take advantage of it while it's low. I seen him at a high school basketball game the other day. Did I tell you guys that?
You did tell us
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty
Yeah.
crazy. He looked confident. He
that
looked
crazy?
confident. I just feel like if you were playing bad, you don't go out to high school games.
He's playing
You
good,
don't.
though.
Exactly. So we're going to go that over right there.
I love the intel on this one. All right, he was at a
is
high
that-
school
is
game.
right.
Lock it in.
That's a good read.
He was taking pictures with everybody.
Feeling good.
You
Confident.
feel good. You feel good in
Confident
that one.
CB.
I like Jokic over 9.5 assists, and if you have that 9.5 assists,
Let's go.
it's a triple-double. I know the triple-double is happening on his birthday. It's what he's known for.
He's got 4 in a row, I believe, right?
Did you know
It's time
this
to
is
get
only
5.
the third time the Nuggets have played on Jokic's birthday?
Really?
And the first time was
Jamal.
in his rookie year. Jokic played 4 minutes, I think. The second game was when Jamal Murray had 50 points on no free throws.
Oh, what a birthday
This is
gift.
only
What
the
a birthday,
third
man.
time they've played on his birthday in the Jokic era.
And for our lock, it's going to be Jokic, of course. His points, rebounds, and assists is at 48.5. He should score whenever he wants to. Because I was just going to get the triple-double, but you might as well get insurance. He's going to be able to score when he wants. He's going to be able to grab every single rebound. I just feel like that Kawhi is going to do everything to keep this game close. Let's go with that over. Points, rebounds, and assists for the birthday boy.
Man, I like that one a lot. 4 triple doubles in a row. Could he go for 5, man?
He's done it before.
Kind of. I mean, knock on wood. I just feel like triple double is a gimme.
It
It's
just
like
doesn't.
if
yeah.
you have the Nuggets are still obviously banged up. If you just have enough guys, triple double's a lock. It seems like.
Feels like it, man. I'm so excited for this game, man. So excited. What do we got, Kale?
Mr. Exquisite Nugget Rapid Man got the promotion. Yay.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Yoke.
Oh, I'll let him know you said so.
And McGuffin321 celebrating 3 months of membership. Great, you guys are back, and I just got the takeover versus the Thunder
Oh, let's
Nice.
go.
tickets.
The takeover.
versus the Thunder.
By the way,
We have 2 takeovers left this season.
Kale, has the new Supporters Club badge dropped? There's a new color. Should be dropping any second. Might be the 22nd.
Yeah, it should be the next couple
Oh, I can't wait to see the real ones get the new one, the newest one. You can sign up for Supporters Club, of course. Get access to all our emojis. Nuggets are back, boys.
What a treat.
How do we feel?
What an absolute
How do we
treat.
feel?
Let's
Dev?
get
I
it,
feel like we
fellas.
should just go and talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. I feel
All
like
right,
we should
this
go
show's
there.
over.
to
Next
that
show
studio.
starts in just a minute. We'll see you over there on the watch along.
Be over there.